So to get started, I'm going to give a little bit of background information about the Alliance because that's important for understanding why we're using Hub. The Gulf of Mexico Alliance is a partnership of the 5 Gulf states: Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. We have over 150 different organizations and 1,000 partners from state and federal agencies, academia, nonprofits, business, and industry. And we work on improving the environmental and economic health of the Gulf of Mexico region and focus on multiple priority issues, including coastal resilience, regional data sharing, support for underserved communities, and management of water resources, habitats, and wildlife and fisheries. We believe that we can do more when organizations and people are working together. And we bring this collaborative approach to multiple efforts, including our regional data sharing strategy. GOMA brings a co-development approach when creating tools and resources. And this begins with engaging stakeholders to understand the ways that they're currently using tools and data, their needs, and gaps and barriers to accessing data. From there, we work with key data providers to identify specific data sets for inclusion in our Gulf of Mexico Open Data Platform, or GOMAD. And then we connect those key data sets together and share them publicly. So why Hub? Well, in developing our Gulf of Mexico Open Data Platform, we quickly began to realize that we needed more than just a visualization tool that would display data. We really needed a one-stop location where our users could connect to the vast GIS resources across the Gulf of Mexico region. And we turned to Hub as the best fit for us for several reasons. So first, we're a broad network, but GOMA has a small headquarters staff and we work on multiple priority issues. So we really have organizational capacity that is very limited for large efforts such as this. And from the start, GOMA decided that we need to be a data connector and not a data collector. And what we mean by that is that we want to connect to and share data from authoritative sources, but we as GOMA do not want to manage, store, and host data ourselves. And that way, we can focus our limited capacity on connecting to the data that our stakeholders need instead of providing the data ourselves. So the next thing is that we really wanted to have a place where our stakeholders could easily view habitat data. That's something that our stakeholders across the region have been asking for several years. And this need was the starting point for our open data platform. So our Seagrass community of practice really drove the initial development of GOMAD based on their need to visualize and understand data related to habitat status and trends, and they needed this for effective research, management, and restoration across the region. Hub provides one location where users can come to discover, access, and use habitat data across the entire Gulf of Mexico. And even though our users have varying level of GIS knowledge and ability, Hub works for the needs of all users across our community. And finally, we've heard time and time again from our Gulf of Mexico stakeholders that they are overwhelmed by the number of data sources and tools that are out there. We know that for the Gulf of Mexico region alone, there are literally hundreds of data sources and tools out there. And our stakeholders wanted one place where they could come and easily connect to data and tools in multiple ways from multiple sources. And Hub provides a place where they can come and access the information that they need, and it takes the burden off users to find those tools and resources from multiple locations. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Drew, and he's going to talk more specifically about how GOMA uses Hub and some of the technical aspects of our Hub site.
Thanks, Christina. So as Christina mentioned, there's 1,000 folks from about 100 organizations in GOMA. That means there's a lot of GIS there. And what we've decided to do is just help get that content out to the community as well as the larger public using the Hub technology. No need for advanced training. We've got 3 primary content categories that we've decided to put up at first. We've got a set of habitat maps, seagrass being one of those. Those are GOMA priority habitat projects. We've got curated theme maps, and these are curated map collections of open content that all the stakeholders and the public can find interesting. And then we've got a collection of GOMA tools that address the one-stop shop sort of need that Christina mentioned. So let's take a look at the habitat map group. Again, this was the proof of concept project that we took on just to evaluate how to use Hub. We got contributions from about 14 or so different data sets across 5 states. You can imagine all of those had different schemas. So we worked with the community to come up with a standard schema that we could map all those data sets to. We appended the data, and now there's Gulf-wide seagrass. By the way, all the maps you'll see here today are ArcGIS Online web maps that are then consumed by a web app that features down there the famous add your own data button. It's our favorite. It allows you to put your own data on top of these public portal maps, even data from ArcGIS Online and from the Living Atlas, just to compare and contrast. Going to the theme maps, again, these are curated maps of interest. There's 3 up now. We've got about a dozen in our back pocket awaiting for some finalization. But imagine going to a public meeting and needing to pull up bathymetry or fisheries or offshore energy. And again, allows any user to add their own data right on top of these. So that's the work of the Regional Ocean Partnership that GOMA also represents, and constantly growing there. Then the GOMA tools. We've got a set of tools that GOMA has been involved in for years. The one on the left, the Deepwater Horizon Project Tracker, is just amazing. And that was built and hosted by other agencies, and now it's sort of coming back home to GOMA. And there's several other tools that we've got featured on the Hub. Again, the Hub is just such a great way to push out data in this sort of one-stop shop area that Christina mentioned. What's next? Well, we're working with the Oyster Community of Practice of GOMA. Again, going through that painful and invigorating exercise of, hey, we got to find a common schema across all these different data sets. Later, we'll be doing mangrove. Those are, again, the GOMA priority habitats. More theme maps. There's a bunch coming, and looking forward to that. And then from the technical side, we're going to be having these communities of practice work inside the Hub as part of the group functionality that Hub allows. It's just amazing technology, and it scales so well for a community like this. Christina?
I'll put a link in the chat for our Hub site so that everyone can take a look at the open data platform, and hopefully we'll have some time at the end of the session for questions.